I am so excited to welcome to PM Mood Roderick Cox, who is one of the only African American conductors in the world. I often, in my work and the different iterations of shows that I do, some that are focused specifically around politics and progressive politics, and then this one really being about social influence and social impact. But you can't escape privilege. You really can't. And I think that, for me, I think that the purpose of recognizing our own privileges in this particular moment is also about having gratitude, right? You recognize that you have this privilege for us to be, engaged with one another from the safety and the comfort of our homes, while there are people that don't have a home, right? While there are people who don't have the ability to work from home and they must go out and make a living in the midst of all of this, and just understanding that there is gratitude to have in the midst of tragedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And understand your good fate and fortune. I want to talk a bit because you are originally from Georgia.
Yes.
Right. And, I would assume, and maybe I'm wrong, but I would assume that growing up, you didn't have many other Black conductors to look at for influence, or as a guide and as a pathway in your career. How did you get here? How did you move from the church and the choir in Georgia to the world stage as one of the only African American conductors?
Yes. That's a wonderful question. I still feel like it presents a problem today, because it always feels like I'm going into uncharted territory, even if you have studied music and you've sort of accumulated a certain amount of accolades. You're still, it still feels like you're going into that rather exclusive room.
Mm-hmm.
And navigating through that is something I think about today. What is possible? There was only one Black conductor I met when I was younger, and his name was James DePriest, and I was studying conducting in graduate school, and he saw one of my videos and invited me to New York before he died to just give me some helpful advice. And that was so very important for me. I think what has helped me is to seek inspiration from other examples of Black excellence, also outside of music. I seek inspiration from watching Serena Williams play tennis, which, if she can do it, then I can do it in terms of breaking down these barriers. I seek inspiration from Barack Obama's presidency and all the curveballs he was through, and he was thrown and still to triumph, and from Misty Copeland as a dancer. And so I like to feel that we as a community, even though it may sometimes feel like you're going into uncharted territory or into a room that you're alone, that you're never really alone, that you have a community of people who've done many excellent, great things and have been the first that you can seek inspiration from. And so I try to be mindful of that, even though I am in a profession where there are very, very, very few of us. And I think a number of us around the world, we know each other or know of each other, and we could probably I probably can't count us all on, if both hands, it would be tough to put together three in terms of counting us out there. But we are, yeah, I try to support my colleagues where they are and hope and feel like we're all in it together.
We know that it's not lack of talent, it's not lack of grit, that keeps African Americans out of many exclusive industries, right? It's none of those things. Um, how do you use? I know that you have an initiative where you provide scholarships to underrepresented groups, right? To inspire young people to connect with musicianry, classical musicianry. Um, how do you inspire them to connect with something where even still now there are very few reflections of themselves?
Well, um, I think most importantly, there's what you can control and what you can't control,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't control some of these mindsets of other people, or you can't control other people, I suppose. But what a musician can do is hopefully control, like you said, that talent and just nurturing it and growing it and stretching your imagination and putting your energy there and putting very much positive energy into that. Because if you, and hopefully, I'm not saying that if you have the talent you will make it, but hopefully if you put that energy there and um, and learn, um, become the ultimate professional of your craft, then you can hopefully make it, and the doors will open onto you. But I've seen all you. This is a profession you can't, I suppose, yell your way into it, and with your
Mm,
frustration, you
mm-hmm,
can't make people open doors for you.
mm-hmm.
Um, and I've seen this happen, and if you focus on that negative energy, it can really, I think, hold you back and cripple you and push down that talent, because I think then people aren't focusing so much on your talent; they're focusing on um, the negative energy you're putting out. Yeah, it's something I've been. It's very interesting. The great soprano Leontine Price, who um, was one of the most famous black sopranos that ever lived. I mean, she's still living. I think she's in her 90s there
Wow.
in New York. But she commanded the stages of the Metropolitan Opera, La Scala, in Berlin, all over the world, and was born in the 20s and
Mm,
was born in Jackson, Mississippi.
mm,
Um, and for her, every interview you listen to her on YouTube, she speaks so proudly of her country and so proudly of her being an American and the opportunities of being an American her country afforded her. And I'm thinking, like, you had to go to Europe, you had to conquer Italy, you had to conquer Germany, you had to conquer all these great opera houses before the United States Metropolitan Opera gives you a chance to to um, to sing there. Why aren't you screaming about that? Why doesn't that frustrate you that you had to do that in order to have those opportunities in America? Um, and it baffles me that she's able to keep this amazing positive focus and appreciation on being an American and what that meant for her. And I said, isn't that a wonderful constructive use of your time and energy? And so, as a musician, especially a musician of color, we have to stay focused on the work. Serena Williams has to stay focused on the tennis, and Barack Obama has to stay focused um, on governing. And that's what I think I try to tell the young people. If I can help them with um, in my initiative, if I can help them get some of the tools that may keep them back, such as a new instrument or instruction from a great teacher or whatnot. That helps the talent move forward. And with the talent moving forward, hopefully people don't have anything else to say. But as you know, we have to be, I hate to say it, but almost twice as good.
I was going to say 10 times, but okay.
Yes.
Twice as good will be it. I was going to say 10 times as good as many of the people that you have been naming are, right? They are the extraordinary pillars of their industries. Thank you, Roderick, so very much. This was extraordinary.